It's the afternoon of the same day that Utterson has helped the police find Hyde's house. He goes to visit Jekyll, and his butler Paul shows him to a part of the house which Utterson has never seen before. Jekyll bought the house from the family of a surgeon, and at the bottom of the garden is an old surgical theatre which would have been crowded with medical students watching dissections. Now that room is no longer used and is full of Jekyll's old equipment and boxes. On the other side of it is Jekyll's office, also known as a cabinet. Jekyll is there, and he looks very ill. Utterson immediately asks him if he's heard the news, and he has. Utterson tells Jekyll that as his lawyer he needs to know the truth, and asks if Jekyll is harbouring Hyde. Jekyll says he will never see Hyde again, and when Utterson says that he had better be sure in case there is a trial, Jekyll produces a letter as evidence. The letter is from Hyde to Jekyll, thanking him for his help and telling him that he's running away. Jekyll doesn't know whether to give it to the police, he says, so he gives it to Utterson and asks him to decide what to do with it. Utterson tells Jekyll that he is pleased Hyde is gone because he still thinks that Hyde would have killed Jekyll to get his inheritance. He wants to see the envelope, but Jekyll says he burnt it, and it was brought to the house, so there were no clues as to where Hyde had posted it from. However, when Utterson is leaving, he asks Paul about what the messenger was like, and Paul says that no one has brought any message at all. When he gets home, he decides to have a rare glass of wine with his head clerk, Mr. Guest. He trusts Mr. Guest more than anyone else, and Guest knows Paul, so Utterson decides it is safe to talk to him about the letter. Guest is also a student of handwriting, so he has an excuse to bring it into conversation, asking him what he could tell about Hyde from the letter. When an invitation to dinner arrives from Jekyll, Guest asks to see that as well, and says that the handwriting of both men is almost identical. Utterson reminds Guest that the letter should remain a secret, and Guest agrees. Later that evening, Utterson locks the letter up in his safe instead of giving it to the police, because he thinks that Jekyll has forged the letter to cover for Hyde.